So you've been with Trusted Cartage for 2.5 years. We kind of spoke about it a little bit earlier, but some stuff you like about being with Nick and the company?
Consistency. The consistency is the biggest thing that I like about dealing with Nick.
Yeah.
I like it because, I mean, he runs, I like to say, a clean company. It's right there on your plate. You know what's expected of you. You do your job, you gotta worry about it. That's what I like about Nick. You know,
Yeah.
He lets you do what you want to do to an extent. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
That's basically it. You know,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
what you got to do, and everything's good.
Yeah, keeps everyone busy.
Consistency.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's right on the side of our trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Consistency.
And then as far as his operation, again, we talked about it earlier, good partnership. You guys are owner-operators, then working with Nick, kind of symbiotic partnership where you're both helping each other out, benefiting each other. I was kind of talking to you about it. It's really a beautiful partnership as far as business goes.
Yeah, it's a great partnership. I mean, that's what I said earlier. You know, I don't look at it as I work for Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as I work with Nick. In order for me to be successful, he's going to have to be successful. In order for him to be successful, I got to be successful. So, I mean, that's what I like about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else is great is getting to sit with Nick first and then now getting to ride along with you. Seeing how hard you both work is pretty awesome.
And I do. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I do 13, 14 runs a week, you know, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it, you know.
Yeah.
If I didn't want to do all these runs, I don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not going to, you know, force anything on anybody.
Yeah.
And that's what I said earlier. I like it because there's no forced dispatch. Nick's going to listen to you. You know, he's going to take your input.
Mm.
Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I've delivered to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I got a book right here. And it's called my hit book. And if I've been somewhere for some reason or another that I didn't like that place, regardless of what it is, I put it in my book. And then if I ever go back to that spot again and it triggers in my head, wait a minute, I'll look in my little book. I remember that. Oh, hell no. I'll call Nick. Go ahead and take it away. You know?
Yeah. And he's always good about that.
And he's never, you know, he's never ever said, well, you know, I've already booked it, you know, I don't want to give it back, you know, just deal with it. You know, he's never said that.
Yeah.
I don't believe he ever would.
And like, so you guys you've worked with some of the bigger companies or worked for bigger companies, and you guys kind of operate differently that I've seen in the fact that you just stay locally. Like, is there any benefits you see, like, as a driver to staying regionally? Like, obviously you probably get to get home a little bit more.
Time.
Yeah.
Staying regional, you're pretty much doing the same thing every day, going to the same spot. So you're used to the highways you're on. You get relationship with the people that you deal with. I mean, you see, you know, how I dealt with
Everyone at Bosch.
With all the people at Bosch, and
we got a good bet in on the NBA series.
Yeah, every day, you know, I'm always talking to them. I always go in there with a good attitude.
Yeah,
and I get that back. You know how many times I've gone in there and because they know me, there'll be 3 drivers in there, and they'll say, "Hey, Glenn, you back in, and we'll get you off. We'll get you out of here, and then we'll get them too." You know, so there's, you know, you get these relationships by going to the same places every day.
Yeah, that is
same
cool.
Spots, you know, and that's.
So with y'all being regional, to where you're operating in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. So does that get you home more often than you would, like, when you were driving out to California and stuff?
It's not even comparison.
Really?
I mean, I was going to California. I'd be going 10 days at a time.
Wow.
You know, not seeing the wife at all for 10 days. With Nick, home. I'm home
for the week every Friday.
Oh, I'm always home on the weekends.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
Nick's gonna make sure that we're always off on the weekends. Of course, unless we wanted to work, I'm sure Nick would find work to do.
Yeah.
But the weekends are important to me. But you're home. Home time. When you're a truck driver, home time is probably your most important thing.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of drivers are missing out on that. I'm guessing.
A lot of drivers, man. These guys that work for JB Hunt and Warner and these big companies.
Yeah.
Snyder, they're gone 2-3 months at a time. And there's they go. You go where they tell you to go. They'll route you out to California and they'll work your way all the way back in. And you think, oh, I'm going home, and next you know you're in New York.
And you're gone for even more time. Yeah.
So they don't care. They're just about quantity.
Yeah.
They just want runs coming in. And working with Nick, working with more of a smaller, intimate relationship. With where you got that kind of one-on-one. You have that home time.
Yeah.
If I need a day off during the week, I don't never have to worry about Nick. And I get, he's always saying, just give me some time. Give me a little bit of warning. I get that.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's cool. The other thing that's cool to see is, since y'all are smaller, like all y'all's relationship, like you talk to Brian and other guys on the team, y'all know each other.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's what I said. You get that, you get that little family thing type thing.
Yeah.
If I see Eric probably maybe once or twice a month, but when I see him, it's like, hey man, what's going on? We right there, we're talking, and
yeah,
we have that brotherhood, that that relationship, that trusted cartage connection.
Yeah. And then kind of two more things. You were telling me earlier about how you came to Trusted Cartage, where you had seen the truck, and
I got lucky. Yeah.
I like that story. Yeah, I got lucky.
I did. I really did. The odds of me pulling up, like I always tell Nick, I'm big into faith. Nick's big into his faith, and at the time I was telling me and my wife were just, like, what do we do? And, my wife was like, pray on it, see what happens. And it's like all of a sudden, boom, here's
big sign, big old billboard on the
side.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, call me, type thing. And then as soon as I get a hold of Nick the first time, we met in a dirt parking lot for the first time. And we sat there and talked for probably a couple hours like we were long lost buddies,
Yeah, that's awesome. And then another question I just wanted to hear you kind of touch base on. What do you think keeps the guys with Trusted Cartage?
Honestly, Nick.
Yeah.
The way Nick runs things, handles things, the way he handles business, I think the guys, and the consistency, it's consistently, every Friday you don't have to worry about your money. It's going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. That was one of my concerns at the very beginning, was this is a small dude. This is a small company. Am I going to trust him with $6,000 of my money every week? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's concerned. It's human nature. I've never met this dude in my life. And when you first start out, you got to work 2 weeks. So now he's got $12,000 of your money. You know what I mean? So, but that's just Nick.
Yeah. You find out pretty quickly he's...
Yeah, you find out really quick. When you first talk to Nick, you realize, you feel you can trust him.
Yeah.
He just gives that vibe off, And that's really what drew me into deciding to, you know, and Nick would be the first to tell you, I fought it. You know, I did. I fought it. You know, he's like, so you ready to come on? I'm like, I don't know, Nick, man. I just, you know, man, I got, because I didn't want to give up that independence.
Right.
You know, and I thought I was giving up that independence by coming with Nick. But I found out that I got more independent after I came with Nick. Because now, honestly, I have more time. I tell Nick all the time, I'd be glad to give you your percentage just to know how to deal with brokers.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I used to use, oh, this guy just messed me up. That guy stuck me on the tracks.
Oh, man. We're driving right now.
I'll be out. I'll be out of the tracks.
So, but yeah, that was cool. Earlier too, you were telling me you for a while did your own thing where you were doing what, like the scheduling. You were on the web,
my own book,
yeah,
my own loads.
And I mean that's a good way to do things. But you were saying then you came over to Nick and you started making even more money than when you were doing everything yourself.
And I had more time.
Yeah,
I had so much more time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I told Nick. I mean, there was times, man, where I was losing sleep. I wasn't sleeping good. You know, because I'm constantly, you know, oh man, I need to find a load for tomorrow. I need to find this load, and I'm constantly on the load boards. You know, and I used to have my wife always tell me, honey, put your phone down for a little while. You know, it's like, well, damn, I'm just waiting for a load, you know, or whatever.
You're scrolling the loads like a teenager on social media.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how it was. It was literally like that. I mean, up in the middle of the night, going through loads, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me. And when I came over with Nick, it was like my sleeping habits got better. I'm overbooked. I was so far in debt on credit cards, and doing my own thing, trying to keep the business going and trying to deal with brokers and everything else. And then when I came to Nick, within the first year of being with Nick, I paid off all my credit cards.
Wow.
You know, sleeping better. You know, and I got more time. I got more time with my wife. I got more time to do what I got to do with. You know, I mean, she understands. Monday through Friday, I got to do what I got to do. But she always knows I'm going to be home on the weekends. You know, I'm going to be home pretty much every night.
Yeah, I thought just when I was shadowing Nick and kind of learning more about the business, I thought that was one of the coolest things he said was, he was like, the only thing, like the main thing I tried to do differently was like get my guys home for the weekend. Like a lot of guys in the industry don't have that, and like that's what I want for my guys, my partners.
And that's a big selling point.
Yeah.
There's some companies out there that guarantee you home on weekends. Okay, like I worked at TMC. They guarantee you home on the weekends. But let me tell you what their weekends are. You may get home at 9 o'clock on a Friday in the evening, at night, and then you're turning around and leaving Sunday at noon because you got to be setting yourself up for the next day.
Yeah, so a good Saturday.
So you get what we call our 34-hour reset.
Gotcha.
Because every week you got to have a 34-hour reset, a 34-hour consecutive reset to start your 70-hour clock back up. So that's basically what we got every weekend was our 34-hour reset. You have enough time to get home, do your laundry, restock your truck, and get back on the road.
Wow.
You know, but with Nick, I'm home on Friday, you know, my normal time, 6, 7 o'clock at night. But I don't leave till Monday morning at 6 a.m. You know, so I get my full weekend.
Yeah.